All right, guys, look. Now we finna talk about Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones. Let's get started first with Mike Tyson. Now, Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion at the age of 20. Let's not forget that before we write him off. He's been out the ring a long time, but look at the success he's had. One punch knockout power, still the youngest heavyweight champion in boxing history. Then we're going to get on to Roy Jones, okay? Roy Jones is a five-time weight class, a five-division weight class champion. Let's not sleep on his power. He moved up to heavyweight to defeat John Ruiz. That was it. But honestly, he still has heavyweight experience. He still knocked out a heavyweight to become a heavyweight champion. He's been more active than Tyson, but let's not forget Tyson has fought Lennox Lewis and things like that and got up off the ground. So before we write off Mike Tyson, let's realize that Tyson hasn't been in a ring for a long time, but he got hit by Lennox Lewis and got up. He got hit by Holyfield and got up. He has faced people who hit harder than Tyson. Roy Jones has never faced anyone that has hit harder than Tyson. But before we write off Roy Jones, let's realize that Roy Jones has fought some of the best middleweights in their prime, that we have ever had. Roy Jones has fought James Toney. James Toney, honestly, is my favorite fighter of all time. James Toney is more skillful than Tyson has ever fought. Bernard Hopkins is also more skillful than Tyson has ever fought. So now we're just going, they're going to fight at heavyweight. So really it's a battle between experience and power and actually toughness, because Mike Tyson is a little tougher than Roy Jones, being that he got hit by stronger men. Roy Jones, he's a little bit more skillful and a little bit slicker and faster than Tyson because he's fought faster men who were more skillful. Honestly, I'm going to give this fight to Tyson. I think Tyson punches, Tyson hits too hard for Roy Jones. Tyson definitely hits harder than Antonio Tarver. Tyson definitely hits harder than Joe Calzaghe or, Glenn Johnson, which guys, those guys are more skillful than a lot of guys that Tyson fought. Being that, these guys are faster, they throw more combinations and move more. And of course, use their jab more, because you get to that middleweight, light heavyweight, time, then those guys are usually, more skillful and faster, use their jab more. But you get to the heavyweight, these guys sit down on their punches and throw their power. And these guys play psychological games with one another. Sometimes these guys might come rough at you and just start fighting on the inside just to see what you're going to do. And you have to make them stop fighting you by actually outboxing them. So, honestly, this is the breakdown between Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. Power and mental toughness versus speed and skill. But honestly, I might just give this bout to Mike Tyson, being that Roy Jones moved up to heavyweight. Tyson didn't move down to middleweight. That's what people fail to realize. Tyson didn't move down to middleweight. Roy Jones moved up to heavyweight. Roy Jones is going to be more quick-minded in a way, but Roy Jones has been knocked out several times towards the end of his career. This is definitely towards the end of his career. Tyson has been knocked out before, but Tyson, the way he's been training, he's in better shape now than he was in his last few fights. Also, Roy Jones, he has been yelling in his, in his training. Often boxers make a snake sound, when they throw their punches to breathe, like, you know, Roy Jones has been going like ha, 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 as if he was doing karate. That is basically saying that Roy Jones is trying to land some power on Tyson. He's not really trying to run from Tyson. He's not trying to get on his toes with Tyson. So my opinion is Tyson has this victory. Tyson has this victory. You know, if you disagree, comment below.